Hello everyone, and welcome to FrameLoss, Episode 1. I'm your host, 2 Inches. With me, as always, is B-Pants.
Hey everybody.
We also have a new host, CJ. Doesn't have a nickname.
What's up, guys? Just CJ, no nickname.
We are a bi-weekly podcast. We used to be called Save State. Changed the name a little bit, FrameLoss. We're trying to move on from that. We have a better show, better format, better time slot. Everything's just better.
And we're not doing it live anymore. Or at least for now.
For now, we're not doing it live.
Yep.
Wait, we're not live?
No.
No.
Oh.
We're pre-recording everything. And
For now.
For now.
In the future, we're going to, hopefully do podcasts more frequently. We'll also have, live gameplay, reviews, all that good stuff.
Your standard internet gaming fun.
Oh, way
just
better than
better.
standard,
though.
though.
Yeah.
Like high quality.
Yeah.
Super high quality.
Like 720p.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's been a while since we've all gathered to talk about games. So what have you been playing lately, Kyle?
I made the mistake of resubbing to WoW.
I heard. That is sad.
The
I mean, it's not sad because I will resub at some point too.
That's evidence. He just said that. I just want that on record.
No, it's the new expansion pack just announced. It looks amazing, but like I said, I already defeated Garrosh on YouTube, and I don't need to do it in the game. It works fine.
Joined the 3.5 million person raid on YouTube.
Yes, exactly.
I'm only 2 days in to this resub, but besides that, I've been playing a lot of Hearthstone.
Yep.
What about you?
I have been playing a ton of games. I've been playing Lego Marvel. That came out. Of course, I'm going to buy it. I love the Lego games, and I love Marvel, so that game was pretty much made for me. Pokemon Y. I'm playing a ton of that. I actually beat most of it. Mario and Luigi Dream Team is a game that...
What is that?
It's the most recent Mario and Luigi RPG series for the...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a sleeper hit, no pun intended. It's really, really good, and I was not expecting it, so that's been getting a ton of playtime lately too. And
Is it on 3DS?
Yep, it's on 3DS. And I also have been playing WoW resubbed, so...
It's his fault that I'm resubbed.
No, it's not his fault.
Allegedly.
It's BlizzCon's fault. If BlizzCon wasn't this week, you wouldn't have resubbed.
It's a combo pack.
I definitely resubbed before BlizzCon, so...
No, yeah, you...
Because I'm just a fucking mark.
Kyle.
So...
So yeah, I've been playing, I recently just finished another full playthrough of the Mass Effect series, 1, 2, and 3, and I just started a 4th playthrough again, because I am just absolutely obsessed with that game.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
okay,
a lot of
no,
playthroughs.
this week was N7 week, November 7th, N7,
Okay,
Shepard's in
alright.
N7,
Yep.
so they also had a bunch of Twitter updates, and they teased Mass Effect 4, so I was like, fuck yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
right?
excited.
Today, besides teasing Mass Effect 4, is there anything besides just N7? Is there anything special that they do? I didn't know the N7
I mean,
was
it's
Does this just exist in your head?
No, it's like BioWare does it. Like they had a sale on their store and stuff, and it's just like like a fan service day, basically.
They need to be better about publicizing this, because I didn't know it existed.
It's not an actual public holiday or anything.
No, but I mean just BioWare needs to do a better job of being for the fans.
Yeah,
Get
I mean it would have been
driving
nice if they did
sales
something
and-
that if they put the trilogy on sale.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
more people into it. That would have been a good idea.
You haven't ridden in enough elevators to hear, but that's where they broadcast the announcement for N7.
Just because one game had slow elevators, Kyle. One.
God forbid a
Literally
game
one
has
game.
loading times.
Yes, exactly. God forbid an early generation
Yeah.
game. Because that came out when the Xbox 360 was still pretty new on the scene. So, anyways,
This guy.
playing Mass Effect. Played some Pokemon as well, Pokemon X.
I feel so left out in that, because
Because you are.
I don't have it.
Yeah, and I've just been playing some random games here and there. I've been playing State of Decay. That's been pretty good.
Did that get fixed? Does that have keyboard, mouse?
it's released
everything
now. They consider it released. I think it released this week, and yeah, it's got full keyboard and mouse control. And they're still working on it too. They still have some more patches they want to do. So
Nice.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, let's get on right to new releases this week. We have some cool games coming out. Cool games like Ratchet & Clank Into the Nexus. The next Ratchet & Clank game is going to be out on PS3, not PS4 though, which is kind of weird. I think they would have put it out there to kind of synergize everything. But
it was just so late in development that they couldn't
maybe it just seems.
it seems like a
Seems
missed.
strange.
It seems like a
it seems like
a
a
missed opportunity.
Yeah.
That could have been a really awesome launch game.
Yeah, and it would have gone. They did one for the PS3 too. They did Ratchet & Clank Futures
Tools of Destruction.
Tools of Destruction, yeah. It would have just been nice to have it on PS4, but I mean, I guess that's the void that Knack fills. So, also coming out this week is DuckTales Remastered, the disc copy of the game, not the downloadable one. That one came out a while ago.
Like in August. Yeah. August 13th, actually.
So this one is for all 12 people who don't have the internet but own a PS3, Xbox 360, or Wii U and want to play the game. Also, XCOM Enemy Within, the expansion pack, is that came out, or that will be coming out, rather, on PC 360 and PS3 this week. I'm actually not a huge XCOM fan, but I know the game has been getting a ton of buzz. I've just never really played it.
Have you tried the new one?
No, I haven't played any of them,
never,
so that's the thing.
Yeah, never played an XCOM game before. The new one is awesome.
All
if
right.
you get a chance, like just download the demo or something.
Yeah.
It's totally worth it.
I honestly,
It's a lot of fun.
I think I bought it on Steam for like $3 during the Steam sale. Yeah. I would say also the biggest news that we have for releases is now that the PS4 is coming out on the 15th, a bunch of PS4 games are finally coming out. Games like we have FIFA 14, Madden 25, NBA 2K14. All those games have been optimized to work on the PS4 with the new AI taking advantage of the PS4's advanced features and stuff. NBA 2K14 especially looks amazing.
Yeah,
I
it
saw
is,
some screenshots
Yeah,
of that. That
looks incredible, plays incredible from what I've seen.
I'd be really interested in seeing that screenshot compared to actual gameplay, though.
Yeah, definitely. That's the thing that I'm waiting on the most, is seeing like actual real in-game footage on Twitch or YouTube or wherever people stream it. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, that's a high-profile game that is out on current-gen systems and will be out on PS4 as well. Battlefield 4, Call of Duty, Ghosts, those both come out. Lego Marvel is going to be out on PS4, which is a little strange to me. I don't really... I mean, it's good to have it on there, but...
I can't see them doing much more from what Lego Marvel looks like now in the current gen systems.
Yeah.
It's a Lego
It's going to be a straight port.
Yeah, it's... I mean, going to make them money, so good call, but it's just... And then finally, Knack and Just Dance 2014 are also both coming out. On the 15th, the day that the PS4 launches, you'll also be able to pick up Injustice Gods Among Us, the Ultimate Edition for the PS4. That's just like Injustice Gods Among Us, but it comes with all the DLC as well. Characters like Zatanna, Martian Manhunter, there's a couple others I don't remember off the top of my head.
You guys were really into that game for a while, right?
Yeah.
What happened
for like a hot week? I was super into that game.
It's a really good, strong fighting game. The story's really great. I'm not huge into fighting games. I know,
but Kyle is. Kyle's huge.
I'm huge into fighting games, but I'm the opposite of huge into DC characters.
No.
And so, like, what we really need to do was like match up me and Kyle. If we could have done that, then it would have been someone who's the game's perfect for.
Yeah.
But it's still a really good game. If you haven't played it, I would absolutely tell you to go out and get the PS4 one with all these additional characters and everything. And if you do have it on the PS3 or the 360 and you're getting a next-gen console, I would say maybe consider it as a purchase, maybe consider it as, Christmas gift or something. It's up in the air more at that point, but it's a great game. If you haven't tried it, you should definitely at least give it a shot.
Cool. So, we want to move on to news of the week?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of good releases this week. Everything's all like... Everyone's in a tizzy because it's new consoles, Black Friday.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's just a huge month for gaming. It's kind of actually upsetting because there's too much to just consume everything. But yeah, we'll go into news of the week. BlizzCon happened this weekend, and there was a decent amount of stuff to cover. I didn't feel like it was as big as like previous BlizzCons. I felt like a lot of the stuff they talked about, everyone already knew or had an idea of. Like the Diablo stuff, like all seemed like...
Well, yeah,
Diablo, Hearthstone, the Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, but they didn't have details on Hero of the Storm yet.
No, but there wasn't...
People knew it was a thing. People knew it was a MOBA-like game. But there was nothing on it.
There was nothing, like shocking, I guess I'd say. Like, there was no, like...
It looks like a Blizzard...
Titan gameplay footage.
It looks like a Blizzard-quality game, but it's just another MOBA.
I would say the big thing out of BlizzCon was the WoW expansion that no one knew. We had anything beyond the name for it.
We
there
saw
was speculation.
The trademark registration.
But the amount of information they had.
Yes, they had a lot of information.
I was expecting, here's the title, here's like what we want to do story-wise.
They even they even had playable demos up in
that was just...
Yep, so. And they like the beta opt-in is live, like you can just go on and opt in. Same for Heroes of the Storm. You can opt in for that as well.
I did that last night. I made sure I opted into that.
I'm gonna have to opt in on when I get home. I have Windows 8, so that got me into the Hearthstone beta.
Nice.
So hopefully it'll get me into Heroes of the Storm and Worlds of Draenor as well.
Yeah, and on that, the Hearthstone, one of their announcements was that the open beta is coming next month. So if you weren't in the beta, like everyone can get in now. Next month. And then tablet versions, which I didn't think they were making a tablet version for.
I think they
announced
the iOS one at
Oh, okay.
when they were showing it at PAX East. They said they were going to do a mobile version, and they specifically said iOS. They announced Android as well at BlizzCon, though.
Okay.
Before it was just kind of rumors and speculation. They hadn't really confirmed Android.
And that'll be coming like early 2014. It's Blizzard. There's no date for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, WoW. There was a ton of information for WoW.
There was a lot. They had a lot of panels on it.
I'm really excited to go back to Outland.
Me too.
Burning Crusade is, to me, that's the best WoW has ever been. And to go back to Outland is just awesome.
I think it's long overdue for attention to be paid to Outland. I've just been leveling a monk because I just started playing again, and I'm getting near Outland, and I can just feel myself slowing down and being totally not excited about it because I hate Outland.
I do hate leveling through Outland.
I felt
at
the
this point in the
opposite
game, you can level through it so fast.
Yeah,
I think I end up doing a zone and a half, and I'm like, well, ready to go to Northrend.
Yeah, exactly. Especially
insanely fast.
As a monk too, you have a daily buff that you get an extra 50% experience for everything. So.
Well, the zones that matter are Zangarmarsh, Nagrand, and Netherstorm.
Yes.
Those were the zones that really made it for me in Outland, and that's where I spent a lot of my time in the game.
And then now they're taking Zangarmarsh out, right?
Yeah.
For Draenor.
I don't think it's taken out, right? It's just the zone looks
I'm sure
different.
It's not on the map.
Out? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I bet there's gonna be a lot of things.
So they have the map on their site. You can actually view all the new zones. They're basically reverse Cataclysm. The map, how Cataclysm worked was it destroyed all of Azeroth. Everything's different. It's all Deathwing just burned everything. In the new Outland, it's everything's gone back to before everything was destroyed. Before the orcs drank the blood and became blood orcs. So
it's back in time.
Yeah. So the Zangarmarsh lore is that Zangarmarsh was this sea, and then during all the fallout, it kind of turned into this swampy marsh, and that's how Zangarmarsh is formed.
Gotcha.
So I'm kind of.
There are some new zones too. So you've got Frostfire Ridge, which is a very snowy zone.
Yep, it's kind of from what the map layout, Frostfire looks like it's a mix of Blade's Edge and Zangarmarsh.
Yeah.
Because Zangarmarsh looks small on the map that they have up, the area where the sea is. So it looks like it's a combination of the two. Gorgon is it Gorgon?
Yep.
Gorgon is definitely that's Blade's Edge. It looks like it. Shadow Moon Valley I'm really interested in because that was the one zone I hated in Burning Crusade. I always
didn't doing all the dragon,
the
Netherwing dailies.
Yeah. Oh god, I did that during Wrath.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that was
I'm
most
still
pain in the ass grind.
I'm still doing it to get that drink.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to that remodel because I hated that zone, so I'm hoping they made it better. The one thing I don't like about the map is Netherstorm is not there. There's a giant island in the top that I'm assuming is Netherstorm, and I'm hoping
used for some patch.
Yeah, I'm hoping it'll be a patch later. You'll be
because there's a couple unlabeled islands.
Yeah, one in the lower left, one in the upper right.
Yep.
So, some other smaller ones around.
Yep. So the whole thing is based around the Draenei, before all this happened and before their world was lost and they had to come to Azeroth and their ship crashed and the Blood Elves took all their stuff and screwed them over.
Blood Elves are awesome.
Yeah, I hate the Draenei. I was really disappointed that it was focused on the Draenei, but I'm so excited to go back to Outland that it outweighs
you know what
that.
I am really not happy about is another expansion pack based around Garrosh. Because it's all this is Garrosh they took him to Pandaland, and they were like, he's our prisoner, and he's like, well, I broke out and traveled in time and went back to reform the Iron Horde or whatever. It's like, really, can we get a new villain?
I vaguely recall reading somewhere that it, like, during the Q&A for it, someone asked about this, and they said that it wasn't going to be Garrosh heavy, and that they would be providing...
Like, I wouldn't mind if he died, like, in the first,
exactly.
Like, you know, while questing, you kill him or something like that.
That's what I think it might be, because they said it would be a fulfilling end to his story, but that it wouldn't be a Garrosh expansion.
Okay,
so...
Yeah. That makes me a little happy.
I feel like Pandas was a Garrosh expansion.
Oh, it was.
Absolutely,
It was all... Yep.
Yeah.
It was all dealing with Garrosh going nuts.
But yeah, I don't think he's going to be that long in the new one.
I hope not.
I hope it goes back into, like, Kill Jaden and, like, it's like them being, like, them coming into power.
Yeah.
Like, before all that.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. I think what I'm most excited for is the way the expansions have been going is that you got a new class, and the next expansion would be new races, and then next it would switch between those two things. We obviously got monks with Pandaria.
And a new race, too.
Oh, yeah, and pandas. Yeah, that's true. So
They,
it kind of broke it.
I remember seeing on, I think it was their site, something about a cat race, like a cat-like race.
Oh, wow.
So I'm wondering if they're going to do another neutral race. Another race, you know, you start out, maybe a new class, or maybe just a neutral race.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably still have some big announcements up their sleeve.
Well, they'll probably... This is a FrameLoss exclusive scoop, but they'll probably move orcs to a neutral race.
They are not going to move forward.
And let Alliance play
That's
as
the dumbest
orcs.
idea.
That's confirmed, actually.
That's not confirmed. Please do not listen to us right now.
Yeah, I mean, the garrisons also sound really cool, but I feel like they gave us...
That's like a farm on steroids, right?
Yeah.
You have, like, your
You
own
have a
instance.
town.
Yeah, your own instance town. You can, I think they said there's 3 levels. You can build buildings in it. You can hire, like, NPC people to go out and do missions for you.
Yep.
There was a lot of
They can run
cool
raids
stuff.
for you.
Yes,
you actually can provide them loot to make them more powerful.
I'm hoping
Pretty
that
crazy.
you can run a raid with them. That, like, you can grab 9 NPCs and do a 10-man raid.
That
and,
would
you
be
know, I'm
awesome.
sure it'll be
That
difficult,
sounds-
but...
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it would be like a baby raid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Because
flex
our
raid.
issue
Like
when
the
playing was
scenarios?
we always had
Yeah.
6 groups of friends who were always on. But finding those other 4 people to fill those raid spots
miserable.
was a pain in the ass. I would really love them to address that for issues, you know, you've got a smaller group of friends. And you've got LFR, but LFR is not the same
LFR sucks.
experience.
I mean, it's an awesome thing to do the content and to
Yes.
experience the story. Don't get me wrong on that, but it sucks. It's a miserable time when you're in there. No one knows what they're doing. Everyone on WoW is a jerk about everything ever in the history of the world. So that part is a bummer, but I would really like to see them just, with flex raids, which they added in 5.3, I think, maybe 5.4, I'm not sure. It seems like they're gearing up towards being able to have anyone do raid content, even if it's a group of, like, 3 players.
I mean, that would be the ultimate. And I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, you're making the game too casual."
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
want to be casual. This game came out 10 years ago.
Exactly.
I was in high school then. You know, I'm an adult now. I've got to work a 40-hour-a-week job.
Yeah, like, I
don't
don't
have
have-
time. Yeah, exactly.
I'm an adult now. I want
I'm
to
an
go to
adult.
Azeroth.
Yeah.
With my adult life.
And I think something that, speaking of catering towards casuals and stuff, something that is going to get a lot of flack for that is the free level 90
Yep,
that
that's,
everyone's getting. But
And that's kind of like, I think they did this at some other point with Recruiter Friend. No, not Recruiter Friend.
Recruiter
I think
Friend
it
gave you,
there was
like-
a Scroll of Resurrection, got you a free
Oh,
like,
yeah,
level 80
yeah.
or something like
Yeah,
that.
I remember
So
that.
this is just with the expansion back purchase. You can choose one character, bring him to level 90. If it's a pre-existing character, you know they'll clean up his bags, clean up his quest log. You might be able. You'll probably just be
I
able
didn't
to
know that.
figure out-
That's actually really
Yeah, they said they'll clean it up for you and get you ready to go into the new content.
which is awesome. I'll finally have that level 90 warlock I've always wanted.
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing a shaman, level 90 shaman.
Oh, there's so many classes that just
Yep.
suck.
What
So
do you mean just suck?
Just
like,
suck to
terrible.
level.
Suck to level.
Oh,
yeah.
to level. I was
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking, like, instant 90 priest. 'cause
Yeah, that
leveling
was
a priest.
priest,
is-
yeah.
I've got a level 90 priest. The level cap right now is 90, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another thing for this expansion.
Oh, they're going up
pack
to
is the new-
100.
Yep, they're going up to 100, which is weird because they had 2 5s in
Yeah.
there. And they
I
had
like the 10.
Yeah, they had said before that, and this was a very long time ago, that they said they do not want to go into the hundreds for levels.
Right.
So it makes
That
me
was
kind
with
of wonder.
Cataclysm, because
Yeah.
that was why it was a 5.
Yeah, and it kind of makes me wonder if they've either gone back on that or they're kind of preparing to kind of let WoW kind of die down now.
I think
which
with
I
the
doubt. But
yeah, I think with them pushing Titan back, now that they've had to like go back to the drawing board with everything for Titan, they kind of realize that they're not. Even if they did 2 more 5-level expansions, they would still need another one beyond that.
Yep.
And they were kind of just probably like, forget it. Like,
Yeah.
let's just go back to what we were doing with 10 levels, give them 10 levels of content.
Yeah. Actually, another really interesting tidbit about this expansion pack is, have you guys seen the item squish?
No, I haven't.
So they're completely squishing everything down. So like one example they gave was like, or somebody I think who demoed the game was like, a level 90 priest or whatever right now can have up to like 490,000 health. And this expansion
Jesus.
pack, it's like they have like 85,000.
Oh, okay.
So a huge squish down.
That's awesome.
A lot of talk about redoing a lot of the like stats. Like they said, there's going to be there's no plate and strength armor.
Okay.
I'm sorry, plate. There's no plate, strength, and intellect armor. So it makes me wondering if they're getting rid of like the strength and intellect stats and rolling them into classes. Because they did talk about adding new stats like run speed and stuff like that.
Right. And they've been working on that
stats.
for a while, getting rid of like MP5 for everything.
They're getting rid of hit and expertise, which is nice. Fucking hate. Hit caps were the worst.
All those stats that only mattered if you were going to be on, the websites like I can't remember the name of it, but just if you were super getting into making everything
raids.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect, they again I'm sure people are going to hate it because it's more casual friendly, but it's just too much sometimes to worry about all that.
Yep. They said like one of the guys who was playing it was like, I had intellect like gems that were like just +8.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So a massive item squish, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Those numbers were getting insane.
Definitely.
If they didn't do that, I could see at the end of this expansion pack, you'd have people with like millions of health.
Yeah.
Tanks with in the millions.
I'm definitely very, very excited about it. Super looking forward to it. It's going to be a good expansion pack.
Yeah.
It'll get a lot of people back.
I agree. And actually, some other just a random thought too is you can see the level 100 talents too. They have them on the sites.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yep, I saw one for the Paladin that I'm so excited for. I can put Beacon of Light on 2 people.
Wow, that is kind of overpowered. Not overpowered, but
I just Beacon of Light, main tank, off tank.
Yeah.
I can heal anybody.
Yeah.
The tanks get 50% heals.
I'm
so
awesome.
excited for that.
That's awesome.
So excited.
I also love the new character models. Like I'm glad they're finally addressing
character model redesign. Yep.
Yeah.
And they have on the site right now. They only have the 8 original races, but they've said in an FAQ that they're going to redo Draenei and Blood Elves as well.
Awesome stuff.
That's going to be at a later content patch.
Hopefully they'll add in the dance studio too, and we can finally get that out of the way.
They had a big troll at BlizzCon where one of the screenshots had Dance Studio when they were showing Garrison, and they came out and said, "No, we're just trolling you guys." Like, they literally just said, "Like, we're just fucking."
That's the only reason I even want the game is to dance.
So let's move on from WoW. We spent a lot of time talking about WoW.
Yeah, this is WoW podcast.
Yeah. WoW loss.
Let's talk about Heroes of the Storm. So they released the trailer, and the trailer was amazing.
It was really good.
Ghost at the end when she does when she drops the nuke and she does the little kiss with the rifle. I was sold the second that happened. Like I already know I'm getting this game. It's really weird. They said it's not a MOBA,
Which doesn't make sense because
At all.
I watched like they had like a 20-some odd minute match, and I was like, "This is a MOBA." It's different. There's no like middle lane, so it's got its quirks, but it looks like a MOBA.
I think they're only saying it's not a MOBA because they don't want it to be League or Dota 2.
Yeah, probably just like a MOBA.
And so they're just like, this is just
Infinite
their own
Crisis.
thing.
Speaking of MOBAs.
Yeah. From what they've said, like the games can be shorter. Like they're going to be like 20-minute games, which that's nice because League can get out of control to where you're in the 2-hour slots. It's 5v5 like standard MOBA. The game is supposedly more about map objectives. It's less RPG and more like skill based. Like you get all the skills from the beginning. Like you don't earn them over time like a traditional MOBA. And so they say it's more skill based.
Interesting.
Which I like.
Yeah. I'm not a huge League of Legends, Dota fan, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
just for that alone.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Something to at least try. I wonder if they said if it's going to be free to play and like you buy heroes like League.
I don't know if it's free to play.
I would bet
It seems like Blizzard's going in that direction.
Yeah.
It would kind of be like shooting themselves in the foot almost if they didn't. Whereas every other popular MOBA, you've got Dota, you've got League, free to play.
Everything's free to play like that, and you want to make one that costs money, it needs to be unbelievable. And I can't imagine Blizzard is saying, let's spend all our time making this MOBA in a crowded market.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so that was pretty much BlizzCon.
Yep.
There was stuff on Diablo 3, but they didn't really have any new information.
Diablo 3, they seem to have almost disassociated themselves with it for the most part. Like, if Diablo 3 has info...
amazing.
Oh, the trailer looks amazing, but it's like when there's Diablo 3 info, they give it to you, and then they don't spend a lot of time talking about it after that. They kind of are just like, here's the info, let's move on.
PS4 is getting a Diablo 3. And
does that include the expansion? Is there going to be a game expansion?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because they didn't give a date for it.
Yeah.
It does have new content. It does have...
Then yeah, I would say that would have the expansion.
Yeah, it's got new stuff in it that the PS3 version doesn't.
Yeah.
But it doesn't support remote play, which I think is one of the first games that's come out and said that they don't have remote play.
They were talking about it, and it was because of the screen size. The limited screen size, they couldn't really display the game well with, large, packs of mobs attacking you. They said it just got too much. They said they still want to think about working it out, but yeah, I don't think they're going to do it.
That's okay. I own a Vita and a PS3, and remote play is probably something I've done once to see how it worked.
Well, now that it's supported natively, it's supported natively as the PS4 was built for it. Most games are going to support it. I'm curious if they've, increased the capabilities, if it's a lot smoother. I never did it on PS3.
Yeah.
So.
The only thing I can say about it is that, and this is a hilarious sentence in and of itself, but it's almost like Sony saw what the Wii U did with the gamepad. It was like, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Because you can play almost all your games on the Wii U have some form where you can play it just on the gamepad and use your TV for whatever else you want to use it for.
But it's not like Sony, you could do that with the PSP. Because I remember playing Blaze.
It was awful.
Yeah, I played Blaze Blue on the PSP, and it was just the lag was just you couldn't play.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we'll move on from BlizzCon, and kind of the big thing this week, obviously, is going to be we've got PS4 coming out this week, and we've got Xbox One coming out the week after. So there's a lot of information that was released about the PS4, and just kind of like an FAQ outlining a whole bunch of stuff. So we're going to kind of go through a lot of stuff, rapid fire, and then discuss them in chunks. So first thing is space issues. Games can require close to 50 gigabytes of mandatory installs. That's for disc-based or digital games. So consoles are coming with 500 gigabyte hard drives. Space could end up becoming an issue. On some of the PS4 boxes, I guess we're seeing a little icon for, was it offline play?
Yeah, the same way that it would say 2 to 4 players, how much size you need, it'll say offline play enabled.
Okay, so it's like
that's
enabled thing, which is interesting.
I think it's kind of getting people, to wean people onto this, digital, you have to be online to play it. It's like a slow process. I want to go back to the space issue real quick. That's terrifying to me. I play a lot of games.
Yep.
And so now you're capping me at, you can have, 10 games and maybe some PSN titles and maybe an app or two. That's really low.
That is, I agree. It almost
and it's on both consoles. It's not just Sony.
So there's two things that counteract that here, at least on PlayStation. Is you can upgrade the hard drive on PlayStation, so you can throw in a terabyte
it's still
drive,
plug and play hard drive.
Yep. So that's good. You can't do that on Xbox. Xbox is
proprietary hard drives.
Yes, proprietary hard drives. The other thing, though, and that this could kind of help, is that a lot of games allow you to start downloading and play shortly after it started downloading.
Right.
So once you've downloaded 7 gigabytes or something, you can actually start playing the game at that point. That could help. If you own a lot of games, you delete when you need to. If you want to go back in a few months to play, you pop it in, you let it do the little bit of install it needs to do, and then boom, you're off.
Yep.
So that could help, but yeah, it is kind of scary.
I would say that the launch lineups too are kind of they lend themselves to this because it's a very thin launch lineup.
Yeah.
So people will have plenty of time to decide what games they like, don't like, what games they want to keep, if they want to upgrade their hard drive.
Yeah,
it's not like it's
exactly.
coming out with 20 must-have games immediately,
Yep.
which is nice.
So moving on, will not export external. It will not support external hard drives.
This is just PS4.
Yeah, this is just PS4. Will not support external hard drives. Internal changes allowed, though, like we said. Will not support audio CDs at launch. There will be a patch available sometime after launch.
Did
support MP3s?
MP3s, but not audio discs.
I don't know if they said
weird.
audio discs.
Yeah, if I want to like put in my, Third Eye Blind CD from 1998.
I think I have a toaster that has a CD player. Like why?
I mean, at this point,
I don't care.
Who
like,
uses CDs
again,
at this point?
yeah,
Like,
I mean,
it's
I use CDs because my shitty car has a CD player and no audio in.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason I use them.
It's one of those things where it's like I can't. I think the last time I used a CD in a console was on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I'm not going to miss it. I just don't understand why it's not. I guess.
Yeah, I don't get why.
Why spend the time to, even if it's just like a day to add support? Why spend the developer time for something that's probably not?
I guess it's a thing. I'm buying this console for gaming, so anything that's not gaming related, it's a nice thing to have. But
I think the biggest hit is just games that support custom soundtracks, which is why they're adding MP3 support.
Yeah,
because that. Obviously, if it doesn't support audio CDs, you can't rip audio to it to use for custom soundtracks. I don't even know how many people even care about that anymore.
I like custom soundtracks.
Yeah,
for certain games, like for a racing game, I love custom soundtracks.
Well, for games like WWE 2K14, you can import your own audio for entrance music, which is huge.
That is
huge.
That is a good feature.
Okay. Moving on. PS4 does not currently support 4K output for games, but it is not out of consideration, so possibly in the future they can add it.
There's nothing that would even come...
Yep.
Nothing supports it anyway.
We can barely get 1080p out of these games so far.
Exactly. Games need to be installed, so that's including Blu-ray disc games, obviously download games. They will need to be installed to the hard drive to ensure a smooth gaming experience. Certain titles may not require you to wait for the full install before starting gameplay. So that's what I was just talking about.
Now
that is developer dependent.
Yes,
that caught me off guard though, because I thought one of Sony's big pushes was that every game was when they talked about it at 3, I came out of that thinking every game I was going to be able to pop in while it was installing, I could play it.
Yeah,
and that little quote only certain titles kind of threw me off. Like,
it might be to kind of cover their bases, maybe, because maybe some titles can't support it. Maybe it's something that they ask developers strongly to do. But, it really is up to the developer, because kind of like the remote play, they've really kind of pushed it hard and been like, you should do this, but it's not required. Another thing to note regarding that is that in order to start playing disc-based games, users will have to insert the disc into the PS4, just like on the PS3, so even if it's fully installed, you still need the disc there.
With that, all those games that you can upscale, like you can buy like the EA titles, like the Madden, and then for $10 more get the PS4 version. PS4. If you do it, you still need the PS3 version.
What? No, you buy the PS4 version for $10.
Not if you do it digitally.
If you do it digitally, you just download the digital copy of the game.
No, you still need the disc. This was confirmed. Because people were like, I'll just buy...
That doesn't make sense.
And they'll trade in the PS3 version and make bank.
That's what the whole deal was.
No.
PS4 isn't even going to support PS3 games. How's that going to work?
It could probably tell what game
all I read was that you still need the old disc. It's the same for Xbox. You still need the old disc to make it work. You can't just trade that game in, get $40, and then you're like, I only spent $20 on this game.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's how they countered that, I guess. I read that this morning. I'm like,
see, I thought the download ones, if you did, if you wanted to download Madden for $10 or whatever, you had to have purchased the digital copy of Madden for the PS3. I thought it was digital for digital, disc for disc. You couldn't buy the disc one and then get the digital.
No, from what I read this morning, you need the old disc.
Okay.
And even if, I think even if you do the store one, they don't give you the new disc. They give you a code.
Okay, that's weird.
That's what I took out of it.
Okay, so the next thing is to play Blu-ray movies, you will need to download a Day 1 patch. if you don't have internet, you can request a Blu-ray activation disc from Sony. So that's,
I'm okay with
it's
that,
interesting.
It's I'm not mad about it. It's just weird.
Yeah.
There's probably something that they were patching that it's just not ready yet, and then again, like, it doesn't affect my gameplay, so I'm not.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I have internet too, so I guess I don't care either way. But
And
for people
I
who don't
assume-
have internet, it's nice that they can get a disc from them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unlike the Xbox, which will support nothing without a day one patch.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah, it's like the plug won't even fit into the wall. Until
Yeah,
they give
and
you
no
the
word,
patch.
and no word on if you can get a patch disc.
Yeah, we'll probably find out more about that on Tuesday,
They
the
have
12th.
like an embargo. on
Yeah,
the 12th,
yeah.
yep.
So hopefully we'll get some more information then.
Let's go back to some rapid fire PS4 facts.
All right,
Do you want
all
to bring us through some?
Yeah, let's see. PS4, it'll support up to 2,000 online friends, which is a huge expansion over the 100 friends that the PS3 currently supports. I know I don't have a ton of online friends or anything, or real life friends, or just friends in general. But I know there are people who definitely will take advantage of the fact that they can expand their friend list this dramatically.
I am a PS3 socialite, and my friends list is very exclusive and has been capped at 100.
Definitely everyone
I
listening
think
to
a
this.
year after the PS3 came out, so I'm super pumped that I don't have to pick and choose and delete people off my list anymore.
Everyone listening to this, friend request 2 inches on PlayStation Network. He'll go through and read everyone's submissions, respond personally. So, the other couple things, you won't be able to rename your current PSN ID for PS4, which is kind of disappointing, but they will give you the option of allowing your friends to see your real name in addition to your online ID. Not amazing, not terrible.
I mean,
sort of just up in the
Battle.net
air.
did it, and then they kind of were just like, who cares?
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm sure there will be people who are
It's
more
optional
protective
too.
of.
You can
yeah,
you can say
Yeah.
don't show my real name.
Right.
So.
and I'm sure there are people who are super protective of their privacy that won't take advantage of it. I'm sure there are people who will take advantage of it, and it doesn't seem like it's going to change much. You can also import your Facebook photos to use as your PSN profile picture if you want, which is kind of cool for people
It's
like
kinda
me
neat,
who
yeah.
haven't taken a picture of themselves in the past 2 years. So
Me too.
still dodging that bullet. No dynamic themes, the way we have dynamic themes on the PS3, with the backgrounds moving, changing all the time. Those won't be on the PS4.
I don't care.
Yeah, don't care. It's more of just,
It makes sense
You know,
because of the
it-
way the UI's changed. But
Exactly.
I'm still gonna miss it.
yeah. No DLNA media server
At launch.
capability at launch for the PS4, right? That's an interesting choice. I understand where they're going at it from a business perspective, where they want you to use Video Unlimited, Music Unlimited, and they want you to use the PlayStation Store to buy these movies, watch these movies. I get all that. It is a bummer, though. There are a lot of things that I watch that
of course.
aren't available in the PlayStation Store. I watch a ton of wrestling, so I have a lot of wrestling videos that are like, you're not gonna be able to buy Raw from 1999 on the PlayStation Store. That's foolish.
I mean, they did say that along with the audio CD patch, that they're going to do the DLNA patch as well, which they said should be shortly after the launch of PS4.
Yeah.
So they definitely listened to the fans' backlash to that, which they've been very good about with this console.
I would say both
so,
companies.
yeah.
I mean, Microsoft more notably.
Yeah, exactly.
Huge.
They have way more.
Microsoft had more to back up on.
Yeah, but both companies have been showing not just willingness, but almost eagerness to listen to fans and
Yes.
change things, which is really cool. The Xbox will also support media server capabilities if you have Windows 8 only.
Which is bullshit.
I mean, it's it's all advanced, move forward. It's 2013. I think we can all upgrade our computers from Windows XP finally. So
I wish I was running 2000 still.
yeah,
I'm
Kyle
also-
still has Windows Me on a floppy. I think.
I'll stick with my Windows 7 for now. I guess the 8.1 patch for Windows 8 caused a lot of issues with gaming. Like there was a lot of issues with mouse acceleration or something like that. I don't know if they resolved it, but that's when I read that I was ready to upgrade to 8, and then I read that and I was like, nope, I'm holding off now.
Yeah,
I think there was an update today on that where they have addressed that issue. I don't know if it's fixed yet, but
Yeah, they gave
Yep.
something up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some more things. PS4 will not have backwards compatibility for PS3, PS2, PS1 games. I think we all sort of saw that coming, even though we didn't want to admit
I
it.
didn't see PS1 games coming.
I mean, I'm not. It's
Yeah,
I don't even know if people still own PS1 games at this point. Beyond, I'm sure people still have Final Fantasy VII hung up in a shadow box above their computer that they pray towards every night before they go to bed. But beyond that, there's not too many PS1 games I think that have a huge market. So it's a bummer. I think backwards compatibility is something that, when everyone moved to a disc-based system, was a huge, huge boon. Now that we're seeing it go away, it's kind of a disappointment. Yeah, so, we'll see. I think my biggest thing is, I have a lot of games I purchased on PlayStation Network for PS1 games, PS2 games, PS3 games.
Yeah.
If I won't be able to play those...
Have they said if those work?
Supposedly, PSN games eventually will be...
Okay.
There's still no word on it yet. I know some at launch, like Flower...
But those are being released for PS4.
Yeah.
Those are being but if you own the PS3 versions, you get them for free.
Okay.
But they're still going to be PS4 games.
Yeah.
So if they make every developer make a new PS4 version of their game, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, exactly. Some more first-party PS4 games will not use an online pass, but Sony won't tell other publishers what to do. Online passes are it was an experiment. A lot of people tried it.
They're fading out.
EA has pulled their online passes. Ubisoft has pulled their online passes. Those are the two biggest ones. 2K uses online passes for stuff, but I would say the 2K games at this point, there's 2K Basketball, WWE 2K, and I think that might even be it. So not a huge impact if they decide to stay with it. Neither digital nor disc-based games are going to be region-locked, generally speaking. It will be up to the publisher if they want to region-lock their games or not, but...
That one's huge for me.
Region-locking isn't really... I haven't seen it come up.
It's a bonus, I believe.
Yeah, I haven't really seen it come up where it's an issue for a lot of people in a while, and I think most publishers will take advantage of not region-locking, as opposed to the other way around. But obviously that remains to be seen. If everyone moves towards region locking their stuff, that'll be...
I like it a lot.
They'll hear backlash, I think, if they do
I
that.
download a lot of stuff from, like, the Japanese PSN.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that they're not region locked.
The PS4 will support up to 4 DualShock 4 wireless controllers at one time. It's down from 8 on the PS3. That said, I can name maybe like 2 games that had support for 8 controllers at once.
Who cares?
Yeah, maybe if we got Mario Party on the PS4,
Who
then...
even owns 8 DualShock controllers?
Yeah.
That's like...
I think I've owned 8 over the course of...
It's like $400.
Yeah, exactly.
If you were to buy them new.
I can't imagine being like, well, I have enough friends that this will be a worthwhile investment.
Yes. Insane.
Yeah. And finally, more controller stuff. The light bar on the DualShock 4 will not be able to be shut off, but the brightness and color can be adjusted on the developer side for games. So, console developers, or game developers rather, if you're listening, definitely you should add a brightness. Yeah, add a dimmer into the game that will allow me to essentially shut it off, and I'll buy your game no matter what.
No, I want all developers to make max brightness at all times. You're just wielding a flashlight.
Pink bars coming out, rainbow colored, really.
Yeah. Just have it strobe at the brightest capacity possible.
Terrible.
Let's keep moving with these news. There's a ton of them, so...
Yeah, there's a lot. PS3 and PS4 users will be able to communicate with each other via text message, but not video or voice chat. I guess that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't care, but it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. No, I don't. I thought I understood it, but I...
Maybe some sort of like different encoding that the
Yeah,
PS4
that's like being like, oh, people on Windows can't use Skype with people on Macs.
PS4 will be able to support up to 8 users for cross-game party chat, similar to the Xbox. Party chat feature works across both PS4 and Vita platforms, so like you could be on Vita and party chatting with people playing on PS4.
It's about time Sony did that.
Finally we have a feature that no one cares about.
Hopefully,
no, that is an amazing feature. I use it all the time.
It's been the #1 requested feature since the PS3 came out.
Yes,
and I could care less.
Hopefully, the Vita gets
another
app that has to interrupt your gameplay experience to use the party chat.
I don't want to talk to people who are playing different games. Like if I'm playing Last of Us,
I mean, we do it all the time on PC. We're chatting while we play games, and I'm playing. We just play whatever, and we're just chatting.
That's because it's like. I guess it's because it's there and it's like easy.
Well, now it's there.
I know, but I didn't need it.
I mean, it doesn't need a lot. It needs to play games, and it does. The rest of the stuff's just icing, but icing's sometimes the best part of the cake.
All right, now time for Kyle's favorite feature.
Oh.
Oh, yes, the DualShock 4 integrated speaker lets innovative game developers immerse players more fully into the game world. In the example of Killzone Shadowfall, audio diaries collected in the campaign mode will be broadcasted through the controller's integrated speaker. Integrated. I read good. We anticipate that developers will devise other interesting ways to use this feature.
I just want to say we, in that sentence, is not us.
Because
I don't anticipate that at all.
No. I anticipate it. It's similar to the Wiimote, like you could be used as like a phone. I think it was No More Heroes that did it. And if you got a phone call in the game, you put the Wiimote to your ear, and like you could hear the other side of the conversation, like you were listening to a phone.
Super lame.
As I'm saying it, I have my hand like up as a phone. I'm pumped. I like that.
I think in Super Paper Mario, jump sounds came out of the Wiimote.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I definitely want to see more of that.
Those,
all my
those
sound
were
effects
creepy.
are controller based.
I thought the sound effects were creepy.
I want all my audio to come from the controller, really.
The whole game.
Yeah.
You can also connect your DualShock controller to a PC using a USB cable. It'll support basic functions. Gameplay has it like full like game functionality hasn't been like discovered yet.
And I'm sure it'll be possible either with
I'm
a
sure
third-party program that they already have. Or
now that I've finally thrown down $30 or $40, whatever it was, on that Xbox controller for the PC that I got.
Yeah. So
now after years of trying to get my DualShock 3 to work on it, I was like, forget it. I'm just buying the Xbox One. Now it works. Yeah. So thanks a lot.
Your DualShock 4.
Which I'll have one eventually. But I really appreciate it, Sony. Thanks for coming through in the clutch like that.
Next up, we got users will be able to log into their PS4 with face recognition and are capable of using their own body movements or voices to enjoy games more intuitively.
I think that's going to really connect a lot of gamers to their console.
I saw that fun. I got it.
I don't know why they haven't been talking. Like, this was the first time
nobody gives a shit.
A lot of people give a shit.
They're
such a big feature for the Xbox.
Are dirty casuals.
Because Microsoft has been covering the Kinect already. Sony doesn't need to do anything. Microsoft is doing it all for them. PS4 with Kinect.
I could care less about any of this. I'm not going to get a camera. I probably won't get a camera.
I'm probably getting a camera.
How are we going to video chat?
Yeah.
You don't get a camera.
I'll use a headset.
That's not video.
Yeah. I don't need a video chat.
I want to see you playing Killzone while I'm playing Call of Duty.
No.
I want the visual as well as the audio.
There's nothing more exciting than watching your friends sit there playing a video game.
Yeah. So there's voice control mode. Also with the camera, you'll be able to control key functionalities like starting up a game, taking a screenshot. At launch, there's 6 languages that are supported, so if you speak Spanish, Italian, French, German, Japanese, then you're covered. You can talk to your PS3.
If you don't speak those languages, I do know some learning language software I can recommend to anyone.
Stop
But there will be more languages in future software updates. Also, the PS Vita can remotely wake up the PS4 in standby mode, as long as the feature is activated in the power settings menu.
I want to know more about how that works. I want to know if I can be on my way home and boot up my Vita and wake up my PS4. So
if you have 3G, probably.
I do, thank goodness.
On your Vita?
I knew shelling out that extra money wasn't a waste, and now I can finally prove it.
How much do you have to pay to have that thing on 3G?
Oh, I'm sure it's more money than I'm willing to, but I'll do it anyway just to say that I can. Suck on that, Mom.
Alright, so the PS4 supports up to 16 local accounts. I don't even know how much the PS3 supports because I never needed more than mine.
Yeah,
and my wife's.
I think
2.
I think at max I've had like 8 on there.
Yeah.
I've mine and Kyle's, and that's it.
Yep, there you go. PlayStation Plus memberships carry over from PS4, carry over to PS4 from PS3.
That's good
which
news.
makes sense because it's a service. It should be active on all their platforms. 2 people can use content on your PS4 from 2 different consoles at once. So kind of like the game sharing.
Yep, I mean that's currently what it is, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So. You can still...
more people can download your content. You just can't use it at the same time.
Oh, okay. Alright.
So, like, if me and Brandon are both playing my copy of Killzone, you could be playing my copy of, like...
Killzone 2.
Yeah, Killzone 2. Coming for the PS4. That's how I think it works.
Okay.
That's how it came out worded to me.
All right.
You can still buy and download things from separate regions, so
A+.
you can still connect to
Get all
your
those Japanese games.
market.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting bit here, a PlayStation app. This new application from Sony Computer Entertainment will enable iOS and many Android-based devices to become second screens. Once installed on these devices, users can purchase PS4 games while away from home and download it directly to their PS4. Depending on the device's operating system, version, or other conditions, some users may not be able to use this application. So,
I'm sure it's like iOS 3. And
exactly.
Android
They're
1.
just saying older versions of Android and iOS can't use it, but that's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
I can boot up my phone and be like, okay, I want to buy this game and download it, and when I get home, it's ready to go.
Yep,
That's
it's
really
the
good.
Steam app does that currently,
Yes.
and it's awesome.
Yes.
It's just such good to be able to buy something while I'm at work and be able to
It's-
go home and
It's
immediately play it.
terrifying because you can
super
spend your money
scary, yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, which I don't need any help doing.
Yes, exactly. PS4 players can share game video on Facebook, game screens via Facebook and Twitter, and gameplay live streams via Ustream and Twitch starting on November 15th, so the launch in North America. So we've all known there's game streaming on the PS4. I'm
I didn't know
personally really
Facebook
excited
was
for
so I didn't know Facebook was such a big part of it.
that.
I think it's more
I
just
don't
the ability
use Facebook,
to share.
Yeah.
I think maybe it was Microsoft who has that like social button or whatever, where it's like you can hit the button and
Sony
it'll
has
just...
it.
No,
Oh, it is Sony?
Yeah,
Okay, my bad.
the share
So yeah,
button.
just being able to see something in a game and upload it to Facebook immediately.
Yeah.
It's cool. I can't say I'll use it a ton that I know of.
I'll use it for
but-
streaming to Twitch. Like,
Yeah,
when we
that's
start
the big
doing,
part.
the FrameLoss, just whatever.
Game specials
we're
and
playing
stuff, yeah.
games, we're hanging out, we're doing marathons or whatever. That's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for that. This is also really cool, too, is that the PS4 constantly records gameplay footage automatically in the background, up to a maximum of 15 minutes before you press the share button. So if you're playing some game and you do something crazy and you're like, holy shit, I wish I caught that on video, PS4 caught it.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
That's really awesome.
I wish I knew more about it. Like, I wish I could be like 15-minute block, like recorded, boop, and then it starts recording another 15-minute. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I knew more about how it actually fully functions.
My guess is that it just constantly has this backlog of 15 minutes prior to you hitting share, which is kind of good-bad, where it's not going to eat up a ton of space constantly, and you have to go through and delete 15-minute blocks of video. But you also have to be vigilant about saying, like, if something happened in the last 15 minutes,
Yeah.
get it shared, because it's going to be gone if you don't do that.
The other thing with that is, now going back to the hard drive size issue, if you've got 10 games installed,
Yeah.
like, how much space are these videos, these 1080p uncompressed videos,
Right.
like, going to take up?
It's the hard drive space is definitely... I'm not
It's definitely
getting a
the
PS4.
elephant in the room, because no one's really talking about it like it's an issue.
I'm not getting PS4 at launch, so I'm hoping that by the time I get one, they've expanded the hard drive significantly, at least doubled it. But definitely hard drive space is something that I am more than slightly concerned about.
I'm still on the fence about getting like just a terabyte laptop hard drive for launch,
Yeah.
just so I don't have to deal with transferring things.
At later
And
points,
just
yeah.
day one, I can just boop pop it in.
And then the other thing about the video recording and stuff is that more developers choice things. Users might not be able to record certain areas within a game. It will be up to the developers to select areas that are restricted for sharing. So that could lead to developers saying, okay, like we don't want any like non-gameplay footage.
Yeah, like
shared.
cutscenes.
Yeah.
Like this reminded me so much about the Nintendo Super Smash Bros. Thing, where like we're not making a campaign anymore because people recorded it and
Oh
put it
my
on the
god!
internet.
Don't even get me started on that guy.
Nintendo. Yeah.
Oh, people enjoyed our stuff too much.
People wanted to share it.
God.
I understand why they're doing it.
I really hope it's not something that's used a lot.
I like Sony's stance on it. Sony's just like, it's up to the developers. Like,
Yeah,
our hands
it
are clean.
seems-
Like, we're not stopping it from happening.
It seems like one of those things where they did it only to appease developers, and by sort of saying they're not going to control it, they're getting the monkey off their backs. But it
Right.
isn't something that needed to be added, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree.
It doesn't seem like it's there to benefit users at all.
No, it's not.
No.
So-
It's only to protect.
Yeah.
developers.
And I don't think Sony was in trouble of not getting titles or anything. I don't think there was any risk of that happening if they didn't add this. But I mean, what do I know? Maybe there was. Maybe we weren't going to get Metal Gear Solid 5 if this didn't happen. So
Maybe.
you will not be able to add voiceovers to shared video clips, but you will be able to speak in real time when you're doing live video. It's a little weird, but I kind of get it just because compressing audio in addition to compressing all the video and everything, it can lead to even more.
See, what I don't understand about this is it recording your voice while you're sharing?
Well, if you're doing the real time
streaming, if you're streaming, it's doing all of that.
Yeah.
If you're just like hitting the share the video clip, what I got from this is that like
makes sense. Yeah.
you're not allowed to edit clips in this. Like you can click the share button and then it'll share because I don't know. I think
it'll probably like give you the only option will be like how far back do you want to go? Like how much of the video do you want to share?
I'm hoping like later they change that and allow voiceover and like we'll get into that with the Xbox.
Yeah. Well, there's no YouTube support for sharing at launch, and there's no news on if or when that will be available. It's definitely interesting that it's not enabled just immediately. I don't know why.
Who uses YouTube for streaming? I mean, this makes sense for
Well,
sharing.
no,
that's sharing. Yeah.
A lot of people do use it for streaming.
Not for streaming.
No,
you can't even live stream on YouTube.
Yeah, you can.
What?
Yeah.
I've been out of the YouTube game for too long.
The Xbox supports it.
Okay.
Xbox 360.
What?
Oh, really? I didn't know the 360.
Yeah, I didn't know that
supported
either.
With Call of Duty.
Okay.
Black
just
Ops.
one game.
Black Ops 2, I think, supports it.
Okay.
It's just weird that's not the streaming part, the sharing. Like, it's weird that you can't put it on your YouTube channel.
Right. The PS4 will allow the use of external HDMI-based capture devices once there's a system update for it, which I don't know when that is going to come out. It's not going to be part of the day one update, but it will be after that.
It's not a huge deal since
they have the streaming.
Since it has the streaming built in.
Now, my question is, can I push my PS4 through my Xbox, my Xbone? And
yes.
I will be able to do that. Can I capture through the Xbone and share to YouTube?
Oh God. Oh God.
I don't know if they've talked about that.
But you won't. It's not a requirement to use the social things at all.
Yeah, that's a good thing to say. Social's all optional. The system can be fully offline if you want it to. So.
Can't wait for the new PS4 flood on my Facebook feed of just my trophies. The day they announced that was a feature, I instantly enabled it, and I was just like sync, and it synced 90 trophies. My Facebook wall was just trophies.
It's terrible.
And I'd like to do them in big bulk, so people are just assaulted with trophies.
Okay, so that kind of covers the rapid fire. I mean, I guess it wasn't really rapid fire. That took us 20 minutes to get through. But
you should see it. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of news.
Yeah.
That was only the.
That was 3 pages.
The hot topics.
That was 3 pages of a 10-page news article.
Yeah. So you can find a big, massive FAQ covering probably everything you could really want to know about the PS4 before launch.
Yep.
Just
head over to Google, type in PS4 FAQ, launch FAQ.
Yeah, you'll find it instantly. It's a really massive document.
Alright, so I guess it's time to move on to the Xbone.
Yep, Xbone, which they hate the name of it, but it's just set up so
well. There to
well.
stay, baby.
Yeah, they're not getting rid of it at this point. There's not a lot of news on the Xbone because of the embargo, and it's coming out a week. It's a week and a half
from now. Yeah.
From the
PS4. It's the 28th. The embargo is lifted on the 12th.
It's the 22nd.
Yeah, it's the 22nd. Is it the Friday after the PS4?
Yep.
Okay, so it's a week after the PS4. There's not... I don't know. There's not a lot out there for information on it that's, important. Fuck the Xbone. No, I don't want to... We're not just a PS4 fanboy podcast. There's just no... hard data on this. Everything's just they might do this.
Yeah.
So there's a 12-minute video on the new dashboard that came out, and I actually I really want an Xbox now because of that video. They showed a lot of really cool stuff for it. The facial recognition and voice commands that load your profile. They had 2 people sitting on a couch, and one would be Xbox load profile. And it would load the guy who spoke, his profile. All his little things, changed and made his color. and then the guy next to him was just like, Xbox, load my profile. And, like, everything changed again and loaded his color and, like, his setup and, like, things he saved. So that was really cool. I think that could make for a household that has, like, children, I think that could be a huge issue. Like, Johnny's sitting there like, I'm playing Xbox, and Timmy's like, I want to play Xbox. Xbox, load profile. And it's like, boop, and just loads his stuff, and it's just a back and forth yelling at Xbox.
Xbox, delete Timmy's saves.
So I think it's really cool, but I think it could cause issues with a younger audience.
Definitely could.
The menu looks way better than the Xbox 360 menu.
As long as they don't clutter it with Hot Pocket and Axe body spray ads.
Yeah.
It will no longer be cluttered with those. Those they'll fit very well into it. It won't feel cluttered at all.
I don't want my paid for, Xbox Live and paid for $500 Xbone to be advertising the Hot Pockets.
I mean, how are you going to know what the new Hot Pocket flavors are?
That's bullshit.
I hate that I don't like paying for like, if I'm paying for the service, like, get the advertisements out. Like,
but Xbox Live is free.
No.
Xbox Live Silver is free.
Okay, but if you pay for Xbox Live Gold, you still get the same ads.
Well, I mean, they don't want you to feel left out.
This bullshit.
It looks a lot like Windows 8, which
is awesome.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's better than it was. Like, things looks like a little sleeker and like a little easier to navigate. It's not like, well, here's the games menu and then here's like the games demo and then the game hot new demo and then hot new demo this week, and you don't have to go through like 40 menus to get to what you're actually looking for, it seems. And there's like the favorites menu where you can star things and keep those like on your hot bar.
That's cool.
You can also change the colors of how each one of the little squares will pop up. So if you like the color blue,
so fun.
All your boxes are blue.
Can you make one blue, one red?
I don't think you can.
That's stupid.
That's Xbox boycott. Until I can get multicolored dashboard support.
It's gonna fail.
Yeah,
call it now. Xbone is done for because of that.
Microsoft lied, colors died.
So we were talking about the video capture for the PS3 or PS4 and how like it doesn't have certain features. The video capture for the Xbox is really nice. What you can do is you can capture your footage and then take that footage, create a picture-in-picture, add like transitions. So like what they showed was like it had the gameplay and then it cut to picture-in-picture, and how it did it was it made two boxes like slam down onto the screen and it looked like a thud, and then the background had like stuff in it. And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it showed them like commentating over the video that they just recorded.
That's actually
and then you can upload it from there. So you can do like pre-recorded videos, do your commentary, and then upload it to whatever service you want to.
Yeah,
I really like that about that.
That is really cool.
Hoping Sony like implements all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm hoping Sony's thing is more like an app that they can continue to update and add features.
Switching from like TV, internet, and then back to game is like really smooth. Them like being like Xbox Forza Motorsports 5. It would like go to the game from where they last paused, and they'd be like Xbox Internet.
Bing.
No, they said Internet Explorer, and that was
good.
And now,
even better.
Yeah, now we can go to Bing from Internet Explorer.
And so like the whole screen just goes like bloop, and it takes you to Internet Explorer. And he was like Xbox TV, and it brought him to his recently starred channel, like in the middle of like a football game like that was going on, and then he went back to the game and picked up from where he paused. Like, so everything was really seamless, and like didn't drop like your progress.
There was no frame loss at all.
Zero frame loss.
I'll be here all night, folks.
Skype, like another thing that I didn't care about at all, but that really looked nice was the Skype functionality. They Skyped, like, he was playing a game, and he was like, boop, boop, boop.
That's the Skype call noise?
Yeah, that's the Skype call noise.
Right.
He got the Skype message, and he picked up, and, like, it showed a video of this guy sitting in his living room, and the guy got up and started walking around, and, like, the Kinect camera, like, tracks where he's walking, so it moves with him, so you don't just get lost, like, out of frame.
Terrifying. What if I wanted to go off the frame? What if I didn't want him to see me?
Who gets up and walks around during a Skype call?
And he had a big living room, like, he could do, like, he was just showing off his, like,
I gotta make some corn dogs, dude.
He was showing off his lush, like,
dude was
modern
flush
modern
with living
home.
room.
He even brought his dog out and made him talk to the dog. It didn't track the dog, but it also
That's
like
upsetting.
when he walked back to the dog, it kind of like zoomed and like gained focus. So like everything looked really nice.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how like it doesn't use motors or it's just all in camera. Like the Kinect's not physically following him; it's just the eye,
camera, yeah.
which is kind of that's scarier than the thing not moving. At least when it's moving, I can track it. So just the eye of Sauron is following me around the living room. That's scary. So that was basically the video. They were just showing off the dashboard and some of the Kinect functionality. It was pretty good. Xbox games are on the left side of the case.
Which is
like the holder for the game.
The holder,
Yeah,
like
the
so
disc.
you open the new Xbox.
always been on the right since like the
Xbox
dawn
game.
of time.
Yeah, like literally since before we had CDs. This was still how it was laid
Microsoft
out.
blazing new trails.
God,
The
blazing
Xbox,
something.
the Xbox, it's on the left, and the booklet's on the right. Like, and their reasoning was so people could tell the difference between like Xbox 360 and Xbox One games.
It's not a good reason.
That's not a.
It's a bad.
That's not a reason.
I know I'm gonna flip I'm gonna just rotate the case. Like I'm gonna make it so it's correct.
Well, then your Xbox logo, like the little like circle graphic, will be upside down. The little X button, it'll be upside down. And it'll look bad.
Moving on.
Just like Sony, there is a day one mandatory update, but the Xbox One is a little bit more severe. You can't actually do anything on the console until you've updated it. So
And I really think this is because of all like the go backs they had to do.
yeah, I mean that makes sense. So like if you don't have the internet, you're gonna have to like rent a friend that has internet or take your system to Starbucks. Like do something because without the internet you can't do anything. That's kind of weird. Like I don't like that.
I don't get it, but
I
mean, like, why
I'm
wouldn't
sure
they
it's
just-
because of all the go backs they had
why
to
wouldn't
do.
they just install it before they ship it? Is my
Because
question.
Not enough time.
Yeah, they don't.
That's lazy talk.
It won't play 3D Blu-rays for now, which
Don't care.
I don't care. But again, it's
Heartbroken.
one of those things that's just kind of weird.
Wait, will it play regular Blu-rays?
Yeah.
Oh, then what's the issue?
Well, you can't play 3D ones.
That's fine.
You
Fine
can't
with
watch.
me. Fine with me.
You can't watch Jackass in 3D with its special goggles. The Xbox does support 8 controllers,
Which is up from 4.
which hopefully there's a re-release of Fusion Frenzy.
Microsoft
with
is
8-player
winning.
compatibility.
Microsoft is winning this generation. I'll tell you that much.
You can't change hard drives, but it does support external hard drives, which I don't know. Can you play games from the external?
That's a very good question.
Because if you can play games from the external, then that's awesome.
Maybe if
you
it's like
can't-
the external uses like USB 3.0 you can or something like that. Maybe it's got like
Maybe.
a certain configuration.
Yeah, I don't know
But
if
the
you'll...
fact, yeah, I hate that you can't upgrade the hard drive. That's super annoying. But it is cool that they allow you to use external hard drives. We just need to know more on.
Yeah, we
what
need
it
to
allows
know
you to
like
do.
what they
Yeah.
let you do. Streaming media from the PC to Xbone is enabled for Windows 8 users. We already covered that.
Yep.
Using the Xbox Video app. I don't know what the Video app is. Have you?
Yeah, I've used it. It's just.
Is it like Media Center? Just
No,
like
it's
admin
it's
Xbox?
like their store, but it sounds like they're widening it to be able to do more things and just be video in general. But it is like the PlayStation Store where you can buy all your movies and stuff.
Okay,
You can do that.
and they'll
through
have
the
like an
Xbox
option for
video.
like boop streaming.
Yeah, I assume.
Okay, you can store MP3s on the Xbox, but you can't play them
At
What?
launch.
at launch.
Okay, at launch.
Well, they said that will change, but that's not included in the day one patch. So you can just fill your Xbox with MP3s and just
Just leave them there.
I mean, honestly,
you
that's
keep
fine.
it's safekeeping. It's
Yeah.
you just I
'Cause
want
the games
games,
will-
but I don't want to listen to them.
Games will still be able to use it. It just won't. You won't be able to play them from. The
I mean,
Xbox
I don't
Music
know.
app.
I don't know if games will be able to use them.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
games
don't
will
know.
be able to use it. I think what they're saying is that you can't load up the music section like you could on 360 and just play whatever you felt like. But games will probably still be able to take advantage of it. Otherwise, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean,
Otherwise,
it
that's
doesn't
the
make any
weirdest.
sense. Period. But it doesn't make any sense more if like you literally can't do anything.
Yeah. You just take up blocks in your hard drive.
And then finally, any HDMI device can be plugged into the extra HDMI slot in the back, like Google Cast, Apple TV. You can even plug a PS4 into the thing. You can be like Xbox, PS4.
Now, if if I plug an Xbone into my Xbone, what happens?
You spend $1,000.
Yeah.
What if you plug them into themselves? Like HDMI out into one.
Yeah, I don't. That's a singularity.
Yeah,
happens.
you destroy space-time.
Now, I do like that I can kind of jerry-rig backwards compatibility here and hook my 360 into my Xbox One to play 360 games.
It is a nice
That's
jerry rig
interesting.
for that.
Yep, that is interesting. So I guess that kind of covers our news.
That's all the next gen, yeah, all the news that...
Yeah, we'll definitely have more as more come in on
Yeah.
our next show, because the next show they'll all be out.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
Both systems
will they all be out?
Yeah, bi-weekly.
Yeah, bi-weekly,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah,
Bi-weekly, bro. So the last thing we have is, I guess, a review, right?
Yeah, it's a quick review. Me and CJ played it. Brandon did not.
Nope.
We're going to review Lego Marvel. What's it? Super Lego Marvel?
Lego Marvel Superheroes is the name of the game, technically.
Technically.
It's just Lego Marvel, though.
Okay. So how do you want me to just like talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it? And you,
yeah,
like,
yeah. I'm too biased to give this review. I'm way too biased. This game gets an 11 out of 10 from me. So
It's perfect. It's
Yeah.
better than perfect.
yeah, this game's everything I could have hoped it was, and then they did more stuff beyond that. So
Okay, so spoiler free. The story is Silver Surfer's board breaks apart into like a bunch of cosmic bricks.
Spoilers.
That's the opening cinematic.
yeah, if you haven't seen that, you're spoiling it.
Doctor Doom, Magneto, and Loki are working together to collect them for what? You don't really know.
Play the game and find out.
Play the game and find out. I thought the story was really good. Like, I liked the progression of it. There are twists in the story that I wasn't expecting.
That's interesting. From a Lego game.
Yeah,
I expected
yeah.
it to be pretty basic.
From a Lego game. Like, there was a lot of twists in it that I was just like, oh, that's kind of neat how they did that.
I can say that this is the...
Well, this is also one of like the first kind of Lego games. I mean, they've done it for some of the other ones, but that follows a unique story.
I was gonna say it's Lego Batman, Lego Batman 2, and Lego Marvel are the only 3 Lego games that have their own story that isn't driven by anything else.
Yeah.
So this is really their first time taking advantage of it to its full potential.
That's good.
Yeah, I really liked how the story played out. There weren't like moments where I was like, this is too kiddie, or this is just like just dumb. Like I enjoyed the story. I gave story an 8.
I like the part where
is there voice acting in this one? I know
Yes.
Lord of the Rings had voice acting.
yeah, Lord of the Rings and
there
Lego
is
Batman
voice
2.
acting in
Okay.
it.
I like the part in the story where Captain America gets his head, like just they cut off his head and they hold it up on TV for everyone. It's really gruesome and dark.
What?
I don't. They
No,
didn't do
that don't
that. Yeah. So story, I give it an 8. Like, what would you give story?
I mean, yeah, 8 sounds fair. It's not perfect because
they're not
it's,
like it's not like Tolkien like
right. It's not. It's a Lego game. Is my review of the story in terms of what to expect from it.
Yeah.
It's better than you think. Nothing's perfect.
Yeah. So gameplay, I thought gameplay for the most part felt like very smooth. Like the combat is fantastic.
Yeah.
All the superheroes like different abilities and attacks look just fantastic. Some of them I wish were way shorter than they are.
Yeah, definitely. There are a lot of attacks where they're cool to watch. It's great to see Iron Man fly into a character, grab the character, whip him around, throw him into someone else, and then pose, but that's solid like 10 to 12 seconds of footage that I just watched.
Yeah, and that happens a lot. So you're watching that animation a ton if you're playing as Iron Man. They each character has a ton of different like special attacks that they do.
That's the other thing. Yeah, there's like 140 characters in this game, and I would say at least 100 of them have their own unique, specific animations for attacks.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like
Is it confusing to be like switching between them and like not knowing which attacks they do?
No, all their attacks are. So if you switch to a character that you know has like ranged spells, it's gonna work like every character that has ranged spells.
Okay.
What we mean by attacks are like
spells.
Like if you're Hulk and you like hit a guy, it might trigger his like special attack where he'll grab the guy by the leg and like slam him into the ground a bunch, like look at him, slam him again, and then like kick him like off screen.
Or it might be a punch.
Or it might be just another punch. It all works the same. Like you're not doing special combos to get those.
Gotcha.
It's just a nice animation that happens while you're fighting. Those are really nice. I liked those a lot.
Something they added in this game that I thought was really cool is as you kill destroy, hurt, whatever bad guys, it increases a multiplier that you use when you collect your studs. So as you kill enemies, it caps at 10. But if you kill a guy, you're up at ×4. You have a small period of window where collecting studs, you get a ×4 multiplier on all the studs you collect.
Nice.
I would try all the time to let the dudes just flood onto the screen.
Yeah.
Like, kill them all. Like, try not to collect a single thing until I hit 10, and then run around and just make bank on, like, the little studs.
And the projectile attacks they have are definitely... It's really easy to spam projectiles at these enemies, get up to 10, and just make money.
Yep.
But it doesn't feel cheesy, though. That's the good thing about it. You do it, and you're like, yeah. You're not like, cheating.
Yeah. I did have the game crash a few times where, like, the system just locked up and I had to hard reset. I want to say maybe 3 to 4 times that happened to me.
That didn't happen to me at all.
Okay.
That happened with
and
WB.
we were playing the save copy, so like it could like I also had characters get stuck. Like I think it's just a problem with Lego games because I've had that happen in other Lego games too, where like
you just get stuck in like a random like a little corner or something.
It'll be like your guy gets in there. It's like, how the hell did I get in here? Like, how did this?
I was fighting at the end of the game. Like I was fighting in one of these arenas. And I was playing as the Thing, and I jumped over one of the guys, hoping that it would like make him hit the wall, and I got wedged between the guy that I jumped over, and this little cubby, and the guy I jumped over like just stopped moving, because I was like technically off, like I wasn't on the ground, my character was just floating, like spinning.
I wish everyone could see his little the way he described that, because it's so accurate to the game as well.
I was just like wiggling there, and the enemy wasn't moving, so I couldn't get past him. And even when I switched characters to try and hope and like trigger it out, I couldn't get him to move. I had to like switch back and forth rapidly while trying to punch the dude up to finally like cause my character to escape. But there were a couple times where like I just got completely stuck and I had to restart.
It's actually a feature. Some of the new puzzles in the game. My favorite puzzle in the game is definitely in the free roam mode. You can select any characters you have, and there are some characters like the Hulk you can play as the Hulk, or if you hold triangle, you will turn into Bruce Banner to do things.
That's pretty cool.
What is also cool is that you can switch on the fly between characters by holding the triangle button to bring up the menu of the selectable menu of all characters. Now, if you pick the Hulk, you cannot bring up this menu because holding triangle will cause you to just change forms.
That's annoying.
And if you accidentally pick 2 Hulks, you're done playing for the night.
I've had points where switching to the Hulk, I couldn't use like the pads, and because it doesn't tell you anywhere that in free mode if you hold triangle, you can switch to any character.
Right.
It blatantly tells you have to use these special pads to switch characters.
Which is so annoying.
Yeah. Once I found out that you could just on the fly, like puzzles just became useless because it was like I can do this on the fly.
Yeah.
Like I can just boop boop switch characters, solve that part of the puzzle. Boop boop switch characters, solve that next part of the puzzle. It made puzzles way too easy doing that.
Well, they almost needed to do it because there are puzzles that you need 3 or 4 characters to do instead of 2. And it's like I can't imagine doing 2 of these things, going back, getting
the puzzle
2
resets.
characters.
That's the problem. That's how I found it. Is if you start a puzzle and you don't finish it, and you go back to one of those pads, get the character to continue it, the puzzle resets. So there were 2 puzzles specifically that I was able to run back fast enough, get a character, run back, and get it done before it reset. And
that sounds miserable.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
The other thing with that is, not in free roam mode, holding triangles or hitting triangles switches characters. So specifically on like the first boss, you have to switch to Bruce Banner to climb this rope to get to the top to like then switch to the Hulk and break everything because the Hulk can't jump up there.
The Hulk's not a jumper.
And while you hold triangle to switch to Bruce Banner, but he just switches to Spider-Man. And you're like, I don't want Spider-Man. So you hit triangle twice to go from Spider-Man to Iron Man back to Hulk.
Oh, gosh.
And then you hold triangle again to switch to Bruce Banner. And it's like, you're going to Spider-Man. Like, why would they put that button to do that functionality if it's going to also switch characters?
Yeah, that seems pretty...
Especially,
there were buttons that weren't used. Like, I don't think the triggers are used for anything.
I was going to say, especially when there's buttons that... The only time the triggers are used, really, is if you're in story mode... Not story mode. If you're in free roam mode on a level, you can use the L1 and R1 buttons, RB, LB on Xbox, to cycle through all of the characters you have for that level. That's the only time those are used.
Yeah, so they could have made that switch character.
Yeah.
Or turn into the Hulk, or one of those things.
Just something.
Because Spider-Man does it too. You can switch to Peter Parker, and that animation takes forever.
I didn't even know that!
Yeah,
I can't wait to get home.
You hold down triangle, he puts like a cocoon around his body, and then the cocoon bursts open, and you have like your Peter Parker holding the camera.
That seems a little... I feel like that's not a very good way to hide your identity.
No.
If you're gonna jump out of a spider web thing.
Also, flying is...
Yeah, it's in the game.
You get used to it, but it's really bad.
It's bad.
Randomly, like, you're Iron Man, you're walking on the street, and you're like, okay, I'm Iron Man, I'm gonna fly. So you double tap the jump button, so he just rockets down the street at 9,000 miles an hour. You have little control over this speed.
Over the speed, you have no control.
The speed you have no control.
The speeds are fly and don't fly.
Then you're like, slow down, Iron Man, we missed our turn. It was 20 blocks back. So you hold back on the D-pad, on the analog stick, and like he like uprights, and then you're like, okay, now I can control him. And then he flies at like 2 miles an hour. So
he hovers.
You swivel back to the block you want to go, and you're like, well, now I want to go up. So you hit X to go up, and he just shoots up into the sky at 9,000 miles an hour.
It breaks the atmosphere, and you're like, well, goddammit, I just need to be on that roof.
And then you're like, okay, well, I'll just drop. So you double tap X to stop flying, and he slowly starts hovering. Give him like 10 seconds, and then he goes into like this free fall parachute mode. And then you get to where you want to be, and you're like, okay, this is where I need to be. And you hit X again, and you just take off again. I don't like the flying. Needless to say.
The flying in this game is great if you have nowhere to be. If you're just flying around the city to be like, I'm flying around the city.
I guess it's worth mentioning that the game is open world.
Yes, open world. That's a huge change also in
It's a really nice open world too.
Yeah, it's super populated. There's tons of things to do, tons of secrets to find in this open world. They have the Marvel office in the game that's like secretly a level that you find in this open world. There's a ton of landmarks.
Like Stark Tower or stuff like that.
Yep. There's a ton of like famous New York landmarks.
Yeah, you fly through Harlem.
You can see those giant red steps that no one really knows what they're for. They're there.
There's a lot. But as far as gameplay goes, I'm giving it a 7 because it crashed a couple times. The flying is really bad, and that stupid triangle button. What would you say? Gameplay.
I didn't have any crashes or anything. I'm a little more forgiving again with this game. I would honestly say it's a 9 for gameplay. Everything works. Well, no, you know what? Let me take that back. Make it an 8. The getting stuck as the Hulk really screwed me up a couple times to the point where I was just done for the night after that happened. So I'll bump it down to an 8.
So let's go into sound. Quips. That's all this game is. Every time anyone talks, it's just it's an excuse for just let's get a quick quip in there, just really catch them.
Well, Hulk, you should really look before you leap, and it's like that's a knee slapper right there, folks.
I wish they didn't have audio. Like I wish they didn't not audio. I wish it was just silent. It was a silent film.
Honestly,
that would someone with Iron Man and be like
that would be more preferable to the incessant amount of dumb jokes that are in this game. I hate this, like, let's make Lego talk now. I don't know why they decided to do it. I forgave it with Lego Lord of the Rings because it was all audio that was pulled from the movies.
Yep, that was forgivable for that reason alone.
Yep, but Lego DC Batman 2, whatever that one was called, and this one are both... There's no need. Yeah, there's no need.
I love the Star Wars and like Indiana Jones and Harry Potter because it's like you have to infer everything.
Yeah, the best part about those was seeing them trying, like in Lego Star Wars when Darth Vader tells Luke that he's his father. He holds up a picture of Darth Vader holding Luke as a baby. That's hilarious. That's the kind of stuff that made me love these games in the first place.
Yeah, the audio really takes a lot out of the game, especially when it's nothing but quips.
Yeah.
And shawarma jokes. The whole game is a long-running... They were like, they loved the shawarma at the end of Iron Man, or the end of Avengers. They're going to love it here. The whole game is shawarma.
There are so
Everyone's
many shawarma
eating
jokes.
shawarma. Everyone's eating everywhere.
Yeah,
I didn't believe you when you said that.
Every cutscene in this game involves someone eating something. I can't emphasize this enough. There's scenes where the characters in the scene will run out of food and be given more food.
That's awesome.
It's insane. Nick
Yeah.
Fury eats... I can't believe he's not fatter.
Nick Fury is the blob.
What would you say for sound score?
I'm going to give it a 6, because I don't like that there's voice acting at all. Like, it really hurts the game, I feel. Especially, like, with Marvel, they could have done so much with just facial expressions or, like, just props.
Yep.
I really think it hurt it, so I'm giving it a 6. And the amount of joke, like, there's no need for that many quips. Also, if I have to hear Stan Lee say Excelsior one more time... I don't want Stan Lee to die, but I want him to not be involved in Marvel.
I want Lego Stan Lee to die. Stop saving him in the game. I'm going to give the sound a 4, honestly. The amount of jokes is just unnecessary. The voice acting is unnecessary. I will give them high marks for they got Clark Gregg, who plays Agent Coulson in Avengers, Iron Man, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., all this stuff. He is in the game as the voice of Agent Coulson. So, good job on that. It's a nice way to tie everything together. But other than that, it's just so needless, pointless. I don't know who's in charge of making the decision to go to voice acting for these games, but they should be fired. Hate it. Awful. Awful. So.
Okay, so you gave it a 4, I gave it a 6. It's pretty close. Graphics. I thought graphics, like, everything looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
game is so pretty. Everything's color. Like, the city looks nice. I mean, I've seen New York in games look absolutely abysmal, i.e. Prototype. The city was just gray and other shades of gray. And sometimes there was red, because that's where the Prototype things were.
I mean, that does sound like New York.
But I thought everything looked great. All the animations are really nice.
Everything's smooth, which is... I just actually saw that you had that noted. I just said that off the top of my head. But everything is just super smooth and clean. And it's totally refreshing, and I didn't know these consoles could even do that.
Yeah, like, the staple Lego, like breaking things and having the blocks fall apart and like bouncing on the ground, and then you build stuff, all that looks great. Some of the big characters, like the Hulk and Abomination and who else? Thing.
That might be it.
Even MODOK looks weird.
Oh yeah, I mean
their character models, I don't like how they look.
For those listening who don't know, MODOK is a giant head in a floating chair.
He's not even in a chair. Like, his legs just dangle and
he's
fly around.
He's flying in the chair.
No, he doesn't have the chair. When you unlock him...
The thing he's in is the chair.
The
whole thing is the chair.
He doesn't have that round thing. It's just a dude floating with his legs.
Maybe
my game
right.
bugged
I
out. I didn't have a MODOK chair. I just had wiggly legs.
I gotta go back and take a look at this.
But they're all like bigger characters. Like you know, the Hulk is a big character. Like obviously he can't be a little Lego man, and that makes sense. But I still don't like how he looks because he looks like a Mega Block. Like someone just put a Mega Block in my Lego. Like this doesn't connect to any of my pieces. This is bullshit. You just throw it.
I got the guide for this game, which I'm probably never going to use the guide. I just got it because it was nice. But the guide does have a section for the portable version of the game also. And I don't know if this is in the regular one, but in the portable, there's the regular Hulk that we have in the game, which is giant and doesn't look like a Lego piece at all. And then there's a minifig Hulk, which is just a green minifig of the Hulk. It does everything the Hulk can do. I don't know if that's in the console version or not, but I thought that was a weird choice if you're gonna have these awful giant characters in the game, and then just be like, but we'll have minifigs also. Then you should have just gone with minifigs.
Yeah. Like all the other giant like Sentinel looks awesome when he's the mini.
Oh
Sentinel.
yeah.
Even characters that looked like that, I was like, how are they going to do that with Lego? Like Carnage and Venom.
Yeah.
Like their little tendrils, they're like the little Lego.
Yeah.
Like circle pieces. Like they all look really nice. I just don't like the big characters, but like I understand why they look that way because they would look awkward if they just made a big Lego piece.
It's more of a. Blame more goes on Lego as a company for that. Because they do a great job of representing how the figures
and
look.
that's how the pieces are in the set.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah. So that's more of an issue with the designers at LEGO for making them that way than it is with Telltale Games for being like, well, I guess we should accurately depict them.
Yeah. So just screw those characters because they look like Mega Blocks.
Yeah, don't buy any LEGO sets that have them in it. Don't support the Hulk. Down with the Hulk.
And like I said before, all the fighting animation is just flawless. Like, it's some of the best like I've seen in a Lego game. Like,
some of the best I've seen in any game. Any superhero game. I would say that it's up there with, in terms of fluidity and stuff, it might as well be Arkham City.
Just the fact that every hero has, like, very unique, like, move sets. Like Wolverine will, like, knock a guy up with his claw, jump up, slash him, and, like, the Lego blocks explode everywhere.
Yeah.
Spider-Man will, like, shoot down 2 things to catch the guy's feet, like, then swoop down and, like, kick him, and all his pieces go everywhere.
They fight exactly how they should fight.
Yeah.
I don't play as Captain America, and I'm like, why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? They all fight the way their characters would fight, which is really cool.
Yep.
So what did you guys give for graphics?
I gave it a 7.5. Thinking about it, maybe I should have given it an 8. I'm going to stick it at 7.5 because, as great as it looks, I've seen better games.
Yeah, it's a Lego game.
It's a Lego game. For a Lego game, like, it's the best that there is.
I give it an 8. Out of Lego, I give it a 10 out of 10 as far as Lego games go, but just in general, I give it an 8. They did a really great job. They did an awesome job with what they had, but it is just, eventually, in the end, it's a Lego game.
And then, fun factor, I went kind of, like, weird on fun factor. So, if this is your first Lego game, and you got it because you're a fan of Marvel, this game is 100% a 10. Like, the game is, like, if this is your first time in the Lego universe, 100% this game is a 10. It's fun all the way through. If you've played all the other Lego games, and this you're getting this just because it's the next Lego iteration, and you like the Lego games, I feel like it's more of like a 6 or a 7, because they're not like reinventing the wheel. It's still, you're breaking blocks, you're collecting studs. At points, you feel like it's almost like a chore. Like, it's like, okay, this is going to take forever to, like, 100%. So, I'm giving it a 6 and a 10, because, like I said, if you got this because you're a fan of Marvel, you're going to have a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that 100%. I'm a huge Marvel fan, huge Lego fan. Stain definitely gets a 10 as far as that goes, if I had never played any of them before. I'm a huge fan of the Lego games. I've played every one of them. They're all great. I give the game an 8, though. I feel like they did an awesome job of translating the mechanics of the games that we're used to, in terms of, mind control for Jean Grey, or melting blocks and stuff with the fire characters. All those things, the powers went to the appropriate people. Doesn't feel forced in any aspect, really, so I would say it's an 8 overall in terms of fun factor.
I love the the Iron Man Mark 42 suit.
Yeah.
That has the like heat laser.
Yeah. Yep.
Melting gold with that looks awesome. Like,
yeah.
It gets like red hot and then it bursts and like it breaks everywhere. I really like that a lot.
So what would you guys give for an overall score?
My overall score for it is a 7.7. I think that's a fair score for it. Like, it has problems, but it also is really good.
Yeah.
I give it an 8 overall. It's not perfect, but it's definitely the best Marvel game since probably Ultimate Alliance 2. And even then, I would say maybe it might even be better. I don't know. I can't play Ultimate Alliance 2 again to verify, because it's $45 from GameStop.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Used.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's not. Yeah.
So,
you can't find the Platinum $19.99.
No.
So yeah, I think that wraps it up for FrameLoss episode 1, right?
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
it.
One in the bag.
We just have to make sure we do it again.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, so it's going to be bi-weekly. This was kind of like this is the first time like we've had CJ on the show. He's going to be a regular host. So this was kind of more of like a trial, like next-gen hype kind of show.
Yep.
Uh,
We'll hopefully make shorter episodes because we're at 1 hour 40 minutes right now.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
That's
trim
not
it
too
down.
bad.
For a special episode.
we'll trim it down
This
to
is-
1
yeah,
hour
this is-
30 minutes.
This is episode 1.
Yeah.
So.
Episode-
I'm pretty sure
episode
there's,
zero,
I'm pretty sure there's
really.
10 minutes in the beginning of us laughing and
Yeah.
screaming at each other because we can't get the intro right.
Yeah.
So.
Which, subscriber bonus. If you send us money, we'll send you those files.
Yeah, we'll send you us being idiots.
It's worth it.
Yeah, so this is 2 inches of FrameLoss. Saying goodbye. And tune in 2 weeks.